Hello all, and welcome to our breakout session on better drawing help with BricsCAD. My name is Walter Nijs, and I'm leading the AI team at Bricsys. In this session, I am more than happy to demonstrate to you how we are taking drawing help management to the next level with BricsCAD V23. Over the past releases, we have introduced and improved a suite of drawing optimization tools. Some of these tools already existed for quite a while, such as the purge command or the audit tool. Others have been introduced more recently, leveraging the power of AI, such as Blockify and Optimize. While we put a lot of effort into clearly defining, splitting, and documenting the purposes of these optimization tools, for new users it might be difficult to know which tool to use in which situation. Moreover, once the tool was launched, user feedback was mostly rather limited, leaving the user in doubt whether the tool really did the intended optimization. With BricsCAD Lite V23, we directly face both concerns with the release of a drawing health management tool, grouping together existing and new optimization tools in a single, powerful command with a nice and clear user interface. So let's stop talking and start showing you what this actually means. In the Ribbon tab of the drafting workspace, you can find this panel containing all drawing optimization tools. Mind that we've added a new drawing health icon over here. When launching the command, this new nice looking command panel pops up. This is our drawing health start page. Using the question mark icon, a cute end product tutorial pops up, explaining you the main concepts. As already explained, drawing health combines the power of multiple commands in one location, reducing drawing size, removing unused objects, and improving the drawing quality. To perform the exact same steps of drawing health on other drawings, you can group tasks with their settings and preferences into a drawing health routine. You'll see this in action in just a minute. And finally, there are three distinct ways you can interact with the Drawing Help Manager. With the Express mode, all help checks and healing actions will be performed automatically. Without user interaction, you'll get a report at the end explaining what happened. The interactive mode offers maximum control. In this mode, the Drawing Help Manager visits all tasks subsequently and provides you with clear guidance and manual control over the fine-tuned actions of every task. And finally, the simulation mode can be seen more as a dry run. It does not alter the drawing, but it runs all specified health checks and displays a report of the changes that the routine would make if executed in Express or interactive mode. So, that's clear. Let's now put the theory into practice and apply the drawing health check on some realistic use cases. Suppose I work as a 2D detailer in a construction design company, and I have obtained this drawing from one of my colleagues. Before doing any detailing work, I want to assess and improve the quality of this construction drawing. Using the Drawing Explorer, we can quickly see that we have quite some layers, and also there are quite some existing blocks, of which I expect some of them to be not in use anymore. However, it soon becomes clear that it's quite hard to really assess drawing health manually. So let's make use of the new drawing health tool. For this use case, I'll use one of the predefined profiles, namely 2D Cleanup. We can see now on the drawing health start page that this routine contains 4 tasks: unused objects, audit, duplicate block definitions, and match existing block definitions. We can use now the Edit Routine button to get a better understanding of which tasks are actually present in this routine. Unused objects basically represents the purge command. We can specify which types of objects to purge. Audit logically corresponds to the audit command, which analyzes the integrity of the DWG database and fixes errors. For this task, there are no settings. And in the repetition category, we can find the duplicate block definitions task, which actually corresponds to the same modes in Overkill. This task will check whether multiple block definitions contain identical geometry. It will attach the references to one of the duplicates and optionally purge the remaining unused duplicate block definitions. Finally, the Match Existing Block Definitions tab corresponds to one of the options in Blockify, checking whether geometry and model space is identical to one of the existing blocks. For this breakout, I'll use the interactive mode consistently to demonstrate maximally what's happening. So, let's go. First, as we already suspected, the drawing indeed contains a lot of unused objects, blocks, and empty layers. The UI, by the way, completely corresponds with the new Purge dialog, also released with BricsCAD Lite V23. By clicking the next button, all of these unused objects will be automatically removed. Now, the command panel gives an overview of all the issues found by the audit task. The list is quite textual, but again, it corresponds to the command line output when manually executing the audit command. Here, we can choose to fix or not to fix all the issues. When clicking next, happily it seems that this drawing does not contain any duplicate block definitions at all. And finally, task 4 out of 4, it seems that actually quite some 2D geometry is found in model space, which fully matches the geometry inside some existing block definitions. Mind that this UI, again, fully corresponds with the brand new command panel for Blockify, which is also released in BricsCAD Lite V23. And there's more. Zooming in, mind that we have actually recycled the nice widgets visualization from BIM Propagate in BricsCAD BIM. As such, we can decide on an individual level which geometry we want to replace and which one not. For example, here, for these doors, we can choose to only convert the doors in the left part of the plan. So, in short, with the combination of the command panel on the right, the widgets on the left, we can quickly decide which geometry to be replaced by references. Now, we've handled all drawing help tasks in the routine. So let's have a look at the report. For every task chart, we can click to expand and see what actions we have been doing. For example, here we can see the names of the 50 purge blocks. And a bit lower, here, we can actually see the handles of the 19 inserted door blocks. Also, we are able to save the report in order to look back at it later. So, that's it. The Drawing Health Manager has taken us over the different aspects of drawing quality. It has presented us with clear overviews, check marks, easy control to do some optimizations. Now, once you've used the routine certain times, I'm confident that you will start to trust the tool. And maybe you'll want to move quicker. So we can now just undo a bit and relaunch Drawing Health, where we will now choose for the express mode. By pressing start, we can see all tasks progressing nicely. And in the end, a very similar report will pop up. Of course, this time, there will be more door blocks inserted because we haven't turned off most of the widgets in model space. This tool is your mainstay for all your drawing health needs, independent of the industry you're in or the project you're working on. Let me prove this point by tackling a use case from a completely different industry. For this one, we'll also switch to the modeling workspace. Now, I could be a mechanical design engineer in a company that designs mechanical assemblies. Here, I have an interesting part of a larger brewery plant. With the structure browser, we can easily see that this model contains of almost 500 3D solids and 3 block references. Further, we can see the file contains multiple layers, actually quite a lot for this rather small 3D assembly model. So, Drawing Health to the rescue. This time, we'll use another predefined profile, which is more suitable for this use case. 3D Cleanup. Again, the routine editor will learn more what is in this routine. First, we again want to purge unused and empty objects using the purge technology. Since our model contains mostly 3D objects, we will use the audit 3D geometry task to detect and fix errors in 3D objects. This functionality corresponds to the DM audit command in BricsCAD Pro. Mind that, as such, a BricsCAD Pro license is needed to run drawing help checks containing the audit 3D geometry task. Next two tasks correspond to our previous example and will allow the drawing help manager to detect whether multiple block definitions contain identical geometry and whether model space contains plane geometry matching the content of an existing block. The final task, equal solids, corresponds to the default mode of the blockify command, will automatically detect equal solids and replace them by block references to a new block definition. This will tremendously decrease the file size of our model. By using the -1 tolerance, the algorithm will deduce the blockify tolerance automatically. Again, routines containing this task can only be executed in BricsCAD Pro. So after looking into this routine, we can now start the drawing health checker, analyzing the model for these 5 drawing health tasks. The unused object task has found 2D unused blocks, 20 empty layers, and 1 unused textile. Audit 3D geometry has actually found 2 non-manifold edges, and by zooming in, we can see that actually highlights the problematic entities in model space. Now, we can see that 1 pair of duplicate block definitions is found, representing the cylinders at the end of the brewery tags. We can choose over here which of these blocks we want to keep. Further, the match existing block definitions task has identified 2 groups of solids which represent the geometry in existing block definitions. And finally, the match equal solids task is a most heavy operation, though we have to only wait for a few seconds to find the results. Here, we can see that the algorithm has found 48 groups of equal solids, which we can easily visit using the command panel. Also, we can choose not to convert some objects. For example, maybe we don't want to convert these supporting plates. And again, after only a few clicks and interactions with the smart drawing help manager, we are presented with this nice report listing what happened. Switching now back to the structure browser, we can actually see that most of the 3D solids has been converted to block references. Also, the drawing now only contains 20 layers, which really do contain geometry. As a final case in point, I'd like to use our new amazing drawing health checker on a somehow more large-scale use case. This model represents a water purification tank, and when checking in the file explorer, we can see the file is about 85 megabytes in memory. In this range, any CAD application can start getting in trouble when it comes to loading times, screw manipulation, and so on. These are the kind of use cases where improving the drawing health can make a huge difference in file size, loading, rendering, manipulation times. In the structure browser, we can see that this file contains about 6,500 3D solids. So no surprise that the model takes about 85 megabytes in memory. So let's see how the drawing health check can help us over here. Since this use case is very similar to the previous one, we will again use the predefined routine 3D cleanup. However, we will throw away the task about duplicate block definitions and match equal block definitions. As such, we now run this custom routine, and in no time, we can see that again, the purge command has found some unused layers. Also, subsequently, in no time, the audit 3D geometry task finds more than 2,000 issues with the 3D objects in model space. Next, we notice that the engine needs to work a bit harder, but after that, we can see that quite some repetition is detected in model space. we can see that 164 groups of equal solids were found. Using the scroll bar, we can actually see all different kinds of objects, from fasteners over pipe elements to connection plates. Even if we scroll far enough, we can see something very strange going on with these solids. When we zoom in, we can actually see that this model contains about 50 pointless copies of this highly detailed 3D solid, which could be easily represented with block refs. So, let's just convert these objects by block references to improve the drawing quality. Again, after some calculation time, we get presented with this nice report listing what has been done. After closing it, we can now see in the structure browser that most of the 3D solids have been converted to block references, which is a way better way of representing the data. We will now save this file as a result version. And we're now going back to the File Explorer. We can see that the result takes only 45 megabytes, which is almost divided the file size by a factor of 2. We have now showcased our new Drawing Help Manager on 3 realistic use cases, each with their specifics. Probably it's already clear to you that routines play an important role in the story. Routines enable users to save a specific list of drawing help tasks with their respective settings and preferences. As such, they make it super easy to just repeat the exact same drawing help checks on different DWG files. Also, they enable collaboration, as we can imagine scenarios where one person in a company sets up one or multiple routines that are applicable to a specific company use case. This person, potentially a CAD manager, would then forward these routines to his colleagues, who consume them to enforce certain company quality standards afterwards. In this final part of the breakout session, I would like to share some more details about managing routines. This again starts from the start page of the Drawing Help Manager. We already showed the Edit button multiple times to review or to tweak an existing routine. Now, we will click the List button to actually pop up the Manage Routines dialog. This dialog gives an overview of all the current routines present. It informs us about the number of tasks present in each routine, and it presents us with some actions for every routine. Using the Edit button, we again end up in the Edit Routines dialog, listing all the details of this specific routine. We can also rename an existing routine, for example, adding the suffix new. Also, we can duplicate an existing routine, for example, to reuse it later. Here we'll just rename it again with a single click. I already explained the use case of sharing drawing help routines with other users, for example, coworkers in the same office. Let's now use the export functionality to save an existing routine into a file. For example, we can save this 3D cleanup profile. And on the same terms, we can update it for the scenario of the colleague consuming an existing routine created by the CAD manager. Here, we use the Import Routine button to actually import an existing routine. For example, this detect blocks and arrays. Using the Edit Routines button, we can see all the details and we can understand that this routine will actually find blocks and arrays in the file. These are actually all the tasks related to Blockify and Array Detect. Finally, we can also create a new routine from scratch using the plus button over here. Using the Add New button, we can very quickly browse through all the possible tasks and add the tasks we want to have in this specific routine. If we're happy with the tasks and their settings, we can either save this routine to reuse it later, or we can just press OK to use it without saving it. So that's it. I hope to have given you a concise but complete overview of our tremendous new Drawing Help Manager. Hopefully it's clear to you that we stay extremely focused while assisting you to keep your drawing data as healthy as possible. Thanks for watching.